hear from something here? Mr. Simmons, the camera to the back of the room, please, sir. Thank you.
Mayor Roberts, this camera's not blocking anybody. I'm a citizen, and it's not blocking anybody. I have the right to sit here. I have the right to video this.
You may. Camera to the back of the room, sir.
My camera's in the back of the room.
That one as well.
Sir?
That one as well. Okay. That's it. All right. It's 9 o'clock. And if you'd like to remain, that needs to happen.
I don't understand what you're saying.
It is 9 o'clock, and I find Mr. Simmons out of order.
Wait a minute, I would challenge what you're saying, and I will file a complaint, okay? I'm trying to figure out, I think you're out of order.
The camera.
Sir?
Officer, remove the camera.
Oh, the camera to the back of the room, yes, sir.
Yes, the video clip to the back. All right. Gentlemen,
democracy.
All right, this is Wednesday, December 27th. We're a recess meeting from this past December 12th meeting, and we reconvened. Hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas. Sounds good to everybody. Madam Clerk, we do have a quorum?
Yes.
All right. So, Board, before you, you have the consent docket. Well, the recess meeting will maybe not. Okay. All right. Then, without objection, we'll approve. Selectman Brock, would you like to remove an item, sir, from consideration?
Yes, sir.
Which item would you like to remove?
Item B, and where is D?
Item B?
Item B is in Bravo, and where is D is in Delta?
I think it's A through B, so, is that correct, sir? All right, mistyped there, items A and B. So, anything else, Board? Then, without objection, the consent document excluding item B has been, would be approved without objection. All right, so ordered. Then, we move to the claims docket. Selectman Brock, have you got items you want to discuss in the claims docket?
Item number, page number in the claims document, page 2. Barclays Security. What's going on there? What is that?
City Administrator.
Well, we got cameras installed in City Hall, and that's what we did. We got cameras installed in City Hall.
Where?
In the boardroom and downstairs. We updated out there. That's a speaker. That's the camera right there that shows the podium when people speak to the board. We have it where you can actually see the audience, see the board, as well as downstairs where they're taking place today.
And these cameras, who's looking at them right now?
No one. It's installed, in my office just like we had no one.
Excuse my slowness here. How many cameras is it?
6.
One here.
2.
2 here.
3. 1, 2, 3.
3 on board. And the other 3?
3 are downstairs. So in the payment area and these stores had the people enter the City Hall.
And these were put in at whose?
At my request.
And this went through Ms. Swiller.
over now.
This went through Ms. Willer, or you?
Yes, we got the bid, we'll approve. Well, I approved it, of course, to sign off on it, but
How many bids were it?
two.
Two bids. Okay, I think, let's see here. Page 7. I'm sure this is in order, but where it says Mississippi Municipal League, I noticed the dates on there should be 7 through 11,
Yes, sir.
and then 9 through 11.
All right, well, you know, they are out there, that's gotta be misrepresented, you know that we did get that already.
Okay, and it lists also the names of everybody that's going, and I see Mr. Selectman Tullis, Mr. Selectman Cameron, Selectman McKenzie, Mr. Hill is not going.
Now, again, I'm not familiar with, who's not going, but if that's what you see over there, that's what. Okay, well, she said they have been working for Cameron and McKenzie downstairs.
Okay,
Yes,
what
sir.
about Mr. Hill? What's the question?
Just registration to the MML.
I'm registered. Okay.
I thought everybody was, but I didn't see it on the claims about it.
Okay.
That was all. All right, and page 10. Simmons Security, MLK, I'm sorry, Simmons Security Sports Park, 2,200, that's a new installation, or something new there, never been there, no, sir, that's security. What page did I just say? Okay, page 8.
Page 10, you just said.
Page 10, and I think, what's called? Page 11, TE lot travel expense. 1188. Has that been increasing?
No, I think it's around the same, right, we can pay this way. I can verify this.
If you would. And page 14.
What page is that?
Page 14. BS&N Sports. This is, it's Sports Park.
Yes, sir.
What is this? This is $4,900 Sports Park. This is for a new field we have.
I tell you what, we got it, rec director, we can, ask him exactly what this for.
Mr. Kessler?
Yes, sir.
There's a question about BSN, $4,900 expenditure. You know anything about that?
Yes, sir. Batting cage slab was poured, and the BSN is the batting cage equipment, the netting, the poles, and the framing that go with that batting cage.
What field is that, Mr. Kessler?
There's one on field 2, and there's going to be one on field 3, sir.
And same page, I take it that Mr. Tom Ellis is $4,900?
Yes, sir.
Just for the work,
Yes, sir.
field 2.
Thank you, Mr. Kessler.
Yes, sir.
Page 11. Walmart stores, cable, battery pack, power pack, SD card storage.
So what is it now?
To purchase at Walmart for iPhone cable, power battery pack, power bank, and an SD card for storage.
I'll have to find out what that is. I'll check with him on that.
Hold one second.
There's on page 11.
I'm sorry, page 18.
Yeah, page
I meant to say 11, page 18, I'm sorry.
All right, page 18, not 11, page 18.
I'm sorry, page 18, 180.
Okay.
Walmart.
Walmart.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, and so this would have been, looks like Fund 163, Ms. Janice. Chief Gary McKenzie, that's your signature on this ticket?
Yes, sir.
Would you
That's
speak?
part of the, one of the Homeland Security grants. That's equipment for David Green and Mr. Cochran as part of the task force logistics.
Thanks, sir.
Okay.
Other than the security cameras, that paperwork, we have a copy.
That's all. Any other questions about the claims docket? Then, without objection, we'll approve the claims docket as submitted. So ordered. At this time, I'd like to, we need to amend the agenda to add 3 additional items. You see your addenda here. Accepting bids on the Phase 2 of the city milling and overlay. A task order from the U.S. Draper to provide engineering services for Phase 2. And then a matter of executive session for litigation, prospective litigation, or issuance of an appealable order. I need a motion to amend the agenda and 3 additional items.
Mayor, I'd like to add one item.
Which would be?
Bringing the item, I don't know what day it was, but Confederate Monument Green Oaks table back for consideration today.
All right. All right, did the addendum to move to 4 additional items? Who would make that motion? Selectman Eubanks, would there be a second? Second. Selectman Tullis, all in favor of amending the agenda to add 4 additional items? Please say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. All right, we'll get to that after item 15. All right, next we begin with employee recognition for one Lester Butler. Mr. Butler is here. Lester, would you come forward along with your Department of Public Works leader, Mr. Chuck Lambert? Thanks for being here. Lester is being recognized for 20 years of service. He works in the Department of Public Works. He's a crew leader. He started work for the city December 22nd, 1997. He's married to Toki Young Butler. She's a school teacher in the McComb School District. They have a daughter, Japan Butler. He's a 1984 graduate of McComb High School. 2 in a row. Okay. His favorite pastime is spending time with family and supporting the McComb School District in sports and education. I did want to, in 1988, 90 through 92, he was a labor and maintenance technician for the street division. 93, he left and came back in 1997 as a maintenance tech in the traffic division of Public Works. And then in 98 to 2002, he was a maintenance tech for the Cemetery and Parks Division of Public Works. And then from October 2002 until present, he's been a crew leader with Public Works. And Lester, we appreciate what you do for the city. very visible, one of the most visible employees in the city of McComb, traveling about, always represents the city well. Loves the city of McComb, and we appreciate that, Mr. Butler. We have just a certificate of appreciation presented to Lester Butler in recognition and appreciation of loyal and valuable service to the city of Macomb. Our best wishes and heartfelt thanks accompanies his expression of gratitude for 20 years in the Department of Public Works.
Yes, Lester's one that since I started in Public Works is, don't see a lot of him. He's always busy. He's always out working with, Lester works with the inmate crews and things and keeps a lot of things clean, works with a lot of the different departments. Probably works directly with more of the departments than anybody else in Public Works other than maybe Michael Jackson. I know he does a good bit of work at Recreation and Parks. They had set up for the dedication of the walking stones and did a good job there. Lester's a good employee and we're proud to have him.
Thank you. Butler, would you like to say anything to your city? Or?
I just want to thank y'all for 26 years, not 20 years.
26 years, okay. And how many more years you got to give us, Mr. Lester?
About a year.
Oh, come on. All right. Well, Lester Butler is again, one of the most visible employees we have, and I think most every citizen in Macomb has probably got his phone number because they call Lester when they need help. And we do appreciate you, Mr. Butler. So get close and smile here. See.
1, 2, 3. 1 more. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Y'all can.
All right. Next we have comments from Shayona McGee. Did I get that right? Shadana. Oh, well, I know. Okay. Shadana, hi.
First, I would like to say good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Shadana McGee. I am a 22-year-old graduate senior at the historic Tooele College in Tooele, Mississippi. Today I'm here to propose a scholarship program for the city of Macomb. Many times I come home, I talk to younger students at North Heights because I was a part of the band, and I talk to them about college. And they always saying to me how they don't have the necessary funds to go to the college of their dreams. And so me being a mentor, I told them to go to the counselor and talk to the counselor about many scholarship opportunities, because that's what I did when I was a senior in North Heights High School. But nowadays, it's not about your academics, your GPA, or anything. It's about who you know, or your financial, how your family is financially able. And that should not be the case, because a lot of students who have, like myself, I have a 3.7 GPA, and I'm graduating in May. But it's not about that, it's about who you know, and do your family have enough money to allow you to go to college, and that shouldn't be the case. And we have a lot of youth in the city of Macomb who wants more opportunity, but it's not just to the youth, it's up to the city of Macomb as well. And for me, I want the city of Macomb to start another scholarship program. And some ways that we can do that is, and that's as a response, we can do Greek step shows, because myself, I'm part of a sorority, and we donate based on our community all the time, but it takes more than just us. It takes the city as well, because we have students from Chicago, Gulfport, who always say their city has donated to them, allowed them to go to school. And I haven't heard on this. It's just my ears not big enough or whatever to know that if our city has actually gave out a scholarship, and I just want to put that on the table. Has the city of Macomb gave out a scholarship?
We have not, Shadana. The city does not sponsor a scholarship program for the youth in the city. We do not.
Is it possible we can get that started?
Well, yes, those things are possible, Shadana. It's a matter of will of the board.
Okay. So, I would like to be chair of that, or like have sponsorship, because being a student at Tougaloo, I have hosted numerous events in order to get things done around campus. One future event that I have is called, it's a fashion show, which will be sponsored for the March of Dimes. And in order to enter the fashion show, we have to have like baby items. And those baby items will be donated to mothers in the city of Jackson for who cannot be financially able to provide for their child. And so, and the money is going, like half is going to the program and half is going to our chapter. And also, we are doing like a scholarship team for like the students at Tougaloo College. And so, by me having like a good resume and my hard work, I would love to be the chair or co-chair or like the anchor in honor to do this.
Thank you, Ms. O'Donnell. Appreciate your comment. Next, item number 5. This is a board appointment to the McComb Pike County Board of McComb Pike County Airport Board. The incumbent Oliver Smith and Tarika Matthews have submitted applications for this to be considered for this appointment. Mr. Smith is like I said, is the incumbent. His request will be considered first, and then if we do not reach consensus there, we'll go to Ms. Matthews. So I begin with item number 5, move to consider adopting a resolution appointing Oliver W. Smith to term C of the McComb Pike County Airport Board. Term C is a 5-year term and will expire December 31, 2022. I need a motion and a second. Selectman Tullis, I heard you, and Selectman Cameron, I believe, for the second. Board, you see on pages 8 and 10, Mr. Smith's letter asking to be considered for reappointment. Would there be discussion? Now you're ready to vote. All in favor of appointing Mr. Smith to term C, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. Item number 6, a move to consider adopting a resolution in conjunction with the Mississippi Municipal League, MML, that recognizes January 14th through the 20th, 2018 as Mississippi Municipal Government Week. Would there be a motion and a second?
So moved.
Selectman McKenzie. Selectman Eubanks. You see backup information on page number 11. This is an effort the league put forward last year. We were in support of it. Just as the resolution states, it's just helping people become aware of what municipalities, the effect municipalities have across the state with the citizens. And they'll, MML will conduct several things across in Jackson that week. They'll be at the Capitol, and they've asked us to adopt this resolution. I have a motion and a second. Is that correct? All right. Discussion. Vote. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries. Move we consider adopting a resolution approving the pursuance of local and private legislation to create a political subdivision in the name of Scenic Rivers Development Alliance. Could I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Selectman Tullis.
Second.
Selectman Cameron for the second. Mr. Joseph Parker, who is the director of Scenic Rivers, is here today. Joseph, would you please come forward, address the board? You'll see the backup information board on pages 12 and 13. If you would apprise the board of how we got to this point and what's been done with other local governments.
Absolutely. Thank you again. It's nice to be back to visit you gentlemen. The Scenic Rivers Development Alliance is continuing the same process that you've known from the beginning. We're to a point now, since I've switched gears a little bit, we're moving towards complete regionalization. And this local and private legislation is not something that has not been a part of our master plan all along, but it's kind of been pushed forward a little bit with the idea of facilities management. You've probably read in the newspaper some with the County, Bogue Chitto Water Park is one of those facilities we've talked about, taking over the management operations of that for Pike County. In order to do that, and Mr. Daly, I'm going to lean on him in a few moments probably to help me with this, is we've gone to each of the boards, or alliance members, the supervisors and such around the City Rivers region, the 5 counties that we represent, and everybody's passed this resolution. This resolution will give us the opportunity to create a liability buffer, in essence, that once you become a political subdivision of the state, it assists you with the Tort Claims Act and the level of insurance that you would need to insulate yourself. As an example, if there were an incident to occur at the water park, you wouldn't want somebody in Walthall County to being sued over an act here in this county. And so, again, a political subdivision provides for that opportunity. Mr. Dowdy might can help me with a little bit more of the legal aspect of that.
Well, it's like he said, as they undertake the management of other resources, like, for instance, the Bogue Chitto Water Park, is if somebody's injured there, the way it's constituted now, and we don't have the water park yet.
That's it.
But they would turn and they would sue all the counties and the municipality because you're tied to the Scenic Rivers Alliance. What this would do would be to ask the legislature to create a separate governmental entity called the Scenic Rivers Alliance. You would be involved still in the appointments of the board members and what have you, but you would not be the operator, and you would not be the subject defendant in a lawsuit that may come up. The only lawsuit would be against what the legislature might create in request of your and that's what you're doing. You're asking the legislature to please allow the local and private legislation to make a political subdivision in the name of Scenic Rivers Development Alliance.
Might add also that we've had meetings with all the attorneys from all the alliance member counties and cities, along with Representative Cockerham, Representative Mims, and Senator Witherspoon, to make sure we have their support for the legislation. Everybody seems to be on board for it. So, pending your approval today, you'd be the last group to pass the resolution. We'll take all these resolutions to Jackson, and they'll begin to draft that bill in this next term, this next quarter. When they start in January, we'll take it under consideration.
Remain, if you will, Selectman Eubanks.
Yes. With this, it says with all powers. What are those powers?
Again, it'd become a political subdivision, a governmental entity. You can see on the extension of that without taxing authority. We won't be able to pass bonds and things like that, a tax levy capacity.
Okay. What is with all powers? What are those powers specifically that you're asking?
Mr. Dowdy can do with that.
Contract with whoever ends up owning the Bogue Chitto. This is an example. Scenic Rivers would enter into a management contract with whoever owns a water park in Walthall County. Scenic Rivers would then be responsible for deciding what the admission fees are, the employees to be hired, the employees to be fired, the money to be spent. Same with any other
Could we
facility.
specifically point out those powers in here? Because I don't like giving just with all powers.
Well, and that's
When
up
it's
to
not
the
known.
legislature. All y'all are doing now is saying, legislature, please create. Y'all can't decide that. That's up to the Mississippi State Legislature. The local county boards and the municipal board do not have the authority to create governmental bodies.
Well, I understand that, but what I'm saying is you're giving a blank check to the legislature without actually saying what powers are you talking about. It's just like saying, okay, with all powers, and then left up to them to decide what powers this entity would have. Well, before I would vote on something, I would have liked to know exactly what powers that I'm actually giving them, or what I'm consenting to. I'm consenting to them deciding what powers to give Scenic Rivers. Is that what
The legislature is the body that creates political subdivisions. If after January, February, March, if they take action and pass something, then at your next opportunity, you're not locked into membership forever. And I'm sure the legislature will recognize that if McComb wants to withdraw because the legislature was unreasonable in the delegation of powers that it gave Scenic Rivers, and somebody make a motion here to withdraw, somebody make a second and withdraw because you don't like what the legislature created. You absolutely have that right.
And then it says a separate political subdivision.
That's right.
Okay. What is exactly does that mean?
Well, it means
Is it political parties, political preferences?
no,
What is political?
nothing to do with political parties, nothing to do with political preferences. It strictly means that they are granted the authority, like any other political subdivision. This would be, and there are local and private bills. Your state senator, who now is your city administrator, will tell you there are local and private bills all over the state that do these types of things. In the Golden Triangle area, they have something there. In Tupelo, they have something there. On the coast, they have a number of those types of things. When a political subdivision is created, either by special action of the legislature, which is what you're asking for now, or under general laws passed by the legislature, that's the framework that you have to operate under.
It was mentioned that as far as hiring and terminating, these are their own employees, not our employees.
That's right. They will have separate bank accounts. They will have separate employees hired. They will, and it will not be. It'll be under the control of the Scenic Rivers Alliance if the legislature sees fit to approve this. It just means that the city of McComb, the reason this was undertaken was they want to expand. They want to get into management of facilities. They want to do more of the events and those kind of things. If they do an event in Amite County and something bad happens, as it now stands, if somebody is injured during an event, they can sue McComb, Pike County, Walpole County, Amite County, Franklin, Wilkinson's Economic Development District. They got a bunch of people they can file a lawsuit. If the legislature sees fit to create what is being requested in these resolutions that have been passed by all the other bodies, McComb, for whatever reason, this is the last one yet to be brought up. Y'all can't be sued. If somebody does sue McComb, the first thing you do is hand the judge a copy of the local and private legislation passed by the legislature and signed by the governor, and he allows you to walk out of the courtroom with no further obligations regarding the lawsuit. And that's the main reason that this is being done, and has been done in I don't remember what all that.
In several counties.
Right.
It's an economic development tool, and that's what those other places use it. It's in Golden Triangle, Pontotoc, and Lee, and Union, pull the lines. That's the same legislation.
Anybody else? All right, then, board, are you ready to vote? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Parker.
Thank you very much.
Item number 8, move to consider adopting a resolution appointing Phineas, that's James Urban, as a probationary police officer for the police division in the Department of Public Safety in a probationary status effective December 29th, 2017. Need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Selectman Tullis. Selectman Brock. Chief Scott McKenzie?
Yes, sir.
Is Mr. James Urban present?
Yes, sir.
Would you introduce him to your board?
This is Mr. James Urban. Mr. Urban has completed all the necessary requirements of the city and the Civil Service Commission to be eligible for a hire. He's a local young man. He's got some military background, has well. Decided he wants to make McComb home for his employment purposes, and with your approval, we'd like to put him to work Friday.
And you said, his work experience before coming to the department was military?
United States Marine Corps, yes, sir.
Okay. Very good. Discussion?
I'm sure he can tell you anything else about himself if he'd like to do so.
Senator Brock, you have something, you mentioned something about, local ties, what's that?
He's born in Louisiana, but he was raised here, graduate of North Pike. He can tell you a little bit more about his.
Yes, sir. Born in Metairie, Louisiana, '93, and I've been raised here since I was 6 months old. Summit local. I came through Kennedy, actually, in town as well, through McComb school system for a little while. I didn't quite make it to Denman before I transferred over to North Pike, and I finished out and graduated in 2011.
All right. And what was your Marine Corps experience? How long were you in the Marine Corps, sir?
I was in the Marine Corps for 5 years in the infantry.
Okay. Very good. Any other questions, discussion? Then vote, you ready to vote? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And, page 14 says, his effective date is
Friday.
Friday.
2 days, yes, sir.
Okay. And, training,
He's scheduled to go to the academy January the 14th.
January 14th.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we've got a large contingent heading to the academy on January 14th.
If all goes well, it'll be 4.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Very good. Item number 9, move to consider adopting a resolution appointing Bobby Enlow as a probationary police officer for the police division in the Department of Public Safety in a probationary status effective January 5th, 2018. Need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Seven Tullis.
Second.
Seven Cameron. Chief McKenzie.
Bit of the same. He's completed all the necessary requirements. Mr. Enlow, as most know, comes to us from the fire service. His father's a retiree in the fire department, but his father also spent quite a few years as a constable with Pike County. Kind of been in his blood as well, growing up in that same household. And with your approval, we'd like to put Mr. Enlow to work on January the 5th to attend that academy January 14th.
All right. Questions, board? Discussion? Mr. Enlow, would you like to speak to your board before they vote?
I have enjoyed working for the city for the last 3 years, and I look forward to many more years in law enforcement, working for the city of McComb.
All right. Discussion? Vote, and all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. Well, congratulations, sir. Scott, would you like to stand and be recognized, Scott, if you will? And is that Mrs. Enlow to your right?
It is. This is my wife, Donna.
Hey, Donna. We appreciate your husband, of course, and then certainly sharing your son with the city of McComb. Thank you very much.
And thank you for giving him the opportunity. He's looking forward to this for a long time. He must do good for it.
Thank you. All right. Item number 10, move to consider receiving a, Chief McKenzie, thank you very much.
Still up.
Oh, you still up? Okay. All right. I move we consider receiving a check in the amount of $75 from Steve W. and Amanda Bates, and a cash donation in the amount of $50 from Amanda D. Bates for the McComb Animal Shelter to be deposited into Fund 001-000346 and increase line item 001-105770. And further authorize a budget amendment for said amount. These funds are to be used to purchase necessary equipment and supplies for the McComb Animal Shelter only. Motion and a second.
So moved.
Senator Cameron for the motion, Selectman Tullis for the second. Discussion on item number 10. Then vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries. Thank you. Got one more? All right. All right. Move to consider approving a semi-annual clothing allowance for the Department of Public Safety. This is the Detective Division in the amount of $500 each to be paid on their next payroll check from Fund 001-110560 for Detective Shannon Sullivan, Jessica Varnado, Sydney Boyd, Victoria Carter, and Narcotic Agent Jason Duncan. Detectives Shannon Sullivan, Jessica Varnado, Sydney Boyd, Victoria Carter, and Narcotic Agent Jason Duncan. Can I have a motion and a second? Selectman Tullis?
Second.
Selectman Cameron? This is the annual appropriation that we make, it's in your budget, and we just have to...
Twice a year.
Twice a year?
Yes, sir. One in-
Semi-annual, that's what that means, there you go. Hello, more than we're in a hat. All right. Discussion board. Then vote, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. Thank you, Chief. Move to consider receiving bid tabulations for the City of McComb City depositories for 2018 and 2019. Bid number MC 11-17-001, 011. And awarding the bid to First Bank, P.O. Box 808, McComb, Mississippi, 39649-0808. And further authorize the mayor to sign all necessary documents. Can I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Selectman Tullis.
Second.
Selectman McKenzie. Found on page 25. Madam Clerk, I believe you handle this for the city, is that correct? And you got letters out to all, but every bank in the region that have a presence here in the city got a proposal, asking for a proposal submittal. And you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bidders. Okay, no bid, all right. And so, State Bank with the 2 bidders. That's on page 25, board, do you see this? Okay. Discussion,
What's the,
Selectman Eubanks.
on the First Bank, there are no additional bank fees?
They didn't offer it, no, sir. State Bank offered it. We paid the $505 a month, we could get it at that rate of 105. If you did pay it, it was going to be 0.0. It should be 0.80.
So there are no fees?
No, sir, no fee.
Zero. And there was no annual rate with State Bank?
Annual rate, that's monthly. If you pay the $505 a month, you can get that 1.05. $505 per month. You can calculate that times 12 and get your annual fee.
Okay, what is this 8 cent?
That should be 0.80.
0.8% is what it should be.
Yes, sir, 0.80.
All right. So First Bank is holding our funds and paying 1.31% on what's on deposit with no additional fees. And they currently have the account for the city, is that correct? Yes. Okay, all right. Further discussion? Appreciate the bids. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Please oppose nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. All right. Item 13, move to consider authorizing payment to the Pike County Sheriff's Office, 2109 Jesse Hall Memorial Road, Magnolia, Mississippi, for the housing of prisoners for the Police Division, Department of Public Safety, for the month of July 2017, in the amount of $17,540.99. Can I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Selectman Tullis.
Second.
Selectman Eubanks. Backup information found on pages 26 through 34. Discussion.
One second.
Rock.
Does this come to us blotted out?
More than likely, yes, redacted, so we don't see names, social security numbers, those kind of things.
Okay, you got page 33, and I think that's 34. Either we need to, or they need to do a better job with that. We got a couple names on here. Privacy issues. This probably came from the sheriff department.
Okay, so in other words,
Page 33 is the very top.
okay,
Yes, sir.
all right.
34 is the very top. It's privacy issue. Yes, sir.
Mhm. All right. Any further discussion? Been ready to vote? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. 14, move to consider approving payment request number 3 from Dickerson and Boyd in the amount of $45,717.44 for 3rd Street Mill and Overlay and Fire Hydrant Installation Project. I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Selectman Tullis for the motion.
Second.
Selectman McKenzie for the second. Mr. Lambert. Could, this project is pretty much all completed, is that right? Just not dotting i's or whatever to finish up payments?
Not included in this payment is the loop they put down up here at the intersection of 3rd and Delaware.
Okay.
And there's a couple of other items we're trying to get cleared up, and this, we should only have hopefully one more payment request after this.
All right. Selectman Eubanks.
When you go, south on 3rd Street, and you go past the bank, you go over the hill, when you come to the bottom of that hill, there's a patch in that hadn't been milled or overlaid. Is there a particular reason it hadn't been?
There's a patch there where the concrete street comes up, I forget the name of the
Yeah.
street, but it's concrete, so that wasn't going to be milled or overlaid. We didn't mill or you don't mill the concrete, and we didn't overlay over the concrete.
So they didn't factor in that width into their tabulations?
No, that wasn't factored into the bid, I understood.
Well, it was factored into the bid and the fact that we didn't ask for that work, ask for that work to be done. Yeah. Any other discussion? Ready to vote? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. Item 15, Board, you've got I did put a little handout here concerning item number 15, and I want to restate this motion. If you recall, we saw this motion back in November, and the motion was to skip, and so it's back before us, and so I'm going to read the motion, restating the motion, if you will. I move to consider rejecting the 3 bids the city received on October 5th, 2017 for project number STP 9270-00, parentheses 001, close parentheses, LPA/103668-701000, Railroad Boulevard improvements, and approving the re-advertisement of the project subject to the concurrence of the Mississippi Department of Transportation, and further authorizing the mayor to execute all necessary documents. Need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Selectman Tullis. Second. Selectman Brock. So, and you find the backup information on pages behind it, listed as 35, 36, and 37. And so, the very last page of this handout, if you allow me, we're basically at option number 2, where we're rejecting all the bids. We had an engineer's estimate on this project that was $688,612.50. We went out for bid, and the low bid was WS Construction at $869,780.50, which is 26.31% over the engineer's estimate, which when you're using federal dollars, you know, they're not gonna let you accept that bid. Well, if you accept it, you're gonna pay the incremental difference. So, you know, when we skipped this item, when it was brought to you to skip it before, we had told you that the Department of Transportation was considering trying to find a way to give us additional money so that we could complete this entire project just as it went out for bid. And we're still having communications with the Department of Transportation that tells us that we're in line, that if it's at all possible, they're going to help us and fund this project to its full capacity, as mentioned in line item option number 2. But regardless, we've got to reject all bids, and then advertise the project again. And that is, if we're going to get additional money, it's got to happen that way. And going out for bid, we'll have a base bid that will assure us of hitting our the $632,558, which has been approved for the city of McComb. That money's in the bank with our name on it. We don't lose that, but we're going to make sure that when we redesign and re-advertise it, we'll make sure we hit that number. Then we'll have options 1, 2, and 3, which allow us to get to the full scope of the project. And hopefully the Department of Transportation will come through for us and give us additional money to help us through the entire project. So we must reject all bids and re-advertise. I still believe that we've got money's coming, so we can do the entire project. Discussion? Then vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries. Madam Clerk, you've got some. You'll need to give the Neil Schaefer and get these documents to Department of Transportation. All right, which moves us to the addenda items. Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to add one additional item to those 4 addenda.
Add one additional item?
Yes.
All right, there's been a motion to add one additional item, which would be?
McComb City election.
Is this a discussion?
Yes.
All right. Motion to add one additional item to the docket. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right. So next item on the docket would be consider. Yes, we did. Motion was made by Tullis, I do believe. Seconded by, who made the second?
Second.
Let Eubanks for the second. And it was all in favor, aye, so we did it aye. All right. I move to consider approving and accepting the bid of Dixon and Bowen, Inc. as the lowest and best bid for Phase 2 of the city milling and overlay project, and further authorize the mayor to sign all necessary documents. Motion and a second, please. Selectman Tullis.
Second.
Selectman McKenzie. Mr. Lambert, would you, this is your document, I believe, that you submit to us with the items of, to be considered?
Yes.
Would you walk us through this, please?
Yes, sir. Y'all should have a copy of the bid tab in front of you.
Which would be this multi-fold page here?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Read the big sheet. When we went out for bid on this, we didn't know exactly how much money we were going to have, and there's still, Mr. Butler and Ms. Hill and I have got to get together to finalize that number. But what we did is we did a base bid, and then we listed the alternates that y'all see on that sheet. Now, the base bids are done based on quantities, okay? And then the alternates are done as a lump sum price. So what we are recommending we take today, we accept Dixon and Bowen. They were found by the engineers to be the lowest and best bid overall, base bid and alternates. And the Dixon and Bowen bid is $842,435.05. The next bid to them was Barry A. Construction for $1,015,297.45. Okay? So we're recommending we accept that base bid, and then once we determine the dollars the total dollars, we'll back out the engineering fees as best we can, and then we'll select some of these alternates down at the bottom to fill in the rest of the money that we have, if any, okay? So at this point in time, we're just simply asking y'all to accept the bid with Dixon and Bowen. They've contacted us, and they are ready to go to work. They'd like for us to go ahead and get the contract together and get it to them. They'd like to start by their first of the year. And so we want to go ahead and get this approved, and then we'll notify y'all once Mr. Butler, Ms. Dillon, and I get together, determine total dollars available. We'll let y'all know if what roads, if any, are to be added under the alternates.
And Board, I want you to note that it goes both ways. The engineer's estimate on this project was $1,049,000. Actually came in at $842,000, so under about 20%.
Yes, sir. And if I can, Mayor, excuse me, one of the things y'all may want to look at is your price per ton on asphalt in place was $70. I cannot tell you the last time that I can remember seeing, and we discussed that with engineers, nor they've seen asphalt in place at $70 a ton. I'm thinking the last bid, phase one, was at 74 or 75? $79 a ton. And also the milling is at $1.50 a square foot. So, this is a good bid. This is a real good bid.
And they're ready to roll?
Yes, sir, they're ready to roll.
Selectman Eubanks.
When is Barrier going to start back?
Barrier parked some of their equipment actually on the yard. As soon as the weather breaks, they're ready to get cranked back up.
Are we gonna have any problem between Barrier and Dickinson and Bowen milling and overland at the same time? Or how's the traffic patterns gonna work out with that? Have we notified?
We're notified a week in advance of the roads to be done, and we'll handle that. I don't think we're gonna have any major issues with that.
Are they gonna work it out between themselves? Who's gonna be doing what and when?
That'll all go through us and the engineers. Barrier's got to finish when they get back in. They've got to finish a lot on the east side of town, and not all Dixon and Bowen, but some of them's on the west side, and I would expect them to start this way first, and then let Barrier finish up on the east side.
Anything else? Selectman Brock.
Phase two,
Yes, sir.
and we do have a phase three.
No, sir. This is out of the bonds.